For millennials like myself, Mazda Speed has a special place in our hearts. From the turbocharged Mazda Speed MX-5, the screaming all-wheel drive Mazda Speed 6, and then the beloved boosted front-wheel drive hot hatch of the Mazda Speed 3. Now, Mazda has always had fun to drive cars, even though Mazda Speed hasn't been seen, I think, around since 2013. But what's happening at the Japan, or should I say the Tokyo Auto Salon right now, we have what I believe is a recommitment to Mazda Speed on a whole new level through Mazda Spirit Racing. If you guys are excited, smash the heck out of that like button and let's get into it. Now check out this lineup of race cars that Mazda is working on. The ones on the left you can see there are definitely tailored for the track only, and they are actually inserted into certain racing circuits and competitions in Japan. The two on the right, but the other two on the right are supposed to be coming to production, at least the MX-5, the Miata. So let's read into it and check out the nice write-up of what we have here. So they highlight these two on top, the Mazda Spirit Racing RS concept as an MX-5, right? And the Mazda Spirit Racing 3 concept. All right, let's read about the beautiful Indy 3 Mazda Spirit Racing RS concept. They say this is the first concept car of a special model produced by Mazda Spirit Racing brand, which is currently under development with the aim of being a car that can be fun to drive from the city to the circuit. Now, when I see which is currently under development, that means they have full-on plans to bring this to production. So keep your fingers crossed. I am holding my breath because I think this is going to come. Think of this as maybe the kind of like Mazda Speed, but it might be more suspension-based improvements instead of the engine improvements. But we'll have to wait to see. Let's keep reading. Compare the previous model. The new model aims to provide more control in the circuit and a high-quality ride in everyday life. We have refined the suspension and aerodynamics that we have cultivated through years of the Super Taikyu racing activities, as well as the interior and exterior appearance to match these developments. A high-performance model that embodies the unique values of Mazda Spirit Racing, which is concerned with speed and texture. I cannot wait to see this to come to production. Let me know what you would want performance-wise from a Mazda, well, a modern-day Mazda Speed MX-5. Mazda Spirit Racing is alive and well, and this logo was trademarked quite a while back, a couple years ago, I think, at this point. And notice the triangle in there. That's alluding to the success, especially at Le Mans, with the beloved Wankel rotary engine. Will we see rotary engines in Mazda Spirit Racing? I don't think so, even though they brought it back as a range extender for the MX-30 crossover. But let's read about the Mazda Spirit Racing 3 concept for you hatchback lovers out there, myself included. Obviously, being the second special model concept car for Mazda Spirit Racing, it is currently being developed, again, like the MX-5, telling me that's probably headed to production, with the aim of being a fun car to drive around town and on the circuit. So it's pretty much just mimicking the same copy and paste article or paragraph that we had on the MX-5. You know, I think this is going to be a theme with Mazda Spirit Racing. So let's talk about the style here. We have a red line on the side mirror. We have a red line coming down from the front grille. So that's a little bit of its racy edge. I don't have pictures of the back. Unfortunately, this is all Mazda gives us. And I know there are people at the show, like my friend David Chow. Hopefully he gets a chance to do some more up close and personal coverage on these cars. But we have a racing stripe that is one single stripe here that kind of blinks out into smaller lines. And then you have a parallel racing line on the roof. We also have a completely blacked out grille surface, and then we have the Mazda Spirit Racing logo right here at the edge of the grille, kind of like where the Civic Si little badge is as well. All right, the very bottom, it looks like this is a more aggressive front bumper and bottom lip than we currently have in the turbo with the Aero Kit Mazda 3 hatchback. These side skirts look to be about the same on the Mazda 3 hatchback with the Aero Kit. I love these 6-spoke wheels. They are classic. I don't know if they're NK wheels, but they look gorgeous. We have red painted calipers as well, and a much more aggressive rear spoiler on the back here than what we have on the deck lid spoiler of the traditional Mazda 3 turbo hatchback. MX-5 takes those same details here, essentially. Now, look how this portion seems to be more blocked off than normal. We have a blacked out Mazda logo seemingly as well, red on the side mirror, and the same style of wheels as well. And since it's a cloth drop top, it's not going to have a racing stripe on the top, but it could go onto the trunk as well. I love this split front lip on the front here. Looks amazing. Moving on though, the Mazda 3 also runs off of biodiesel in certain racing circuits as well, and using hydrogenated vegetable oil. It's pretty insane. They also have an MX-5 that is using gasoline alternative fuel as one of its carbon neutral options. That's pretty amazing as well. Gosh, that is gorgeous. Not gonna lie, that is such a beautiful car. Reminds me a little bit of the RX-7s of old. This thing looks just as beautiful. You can see more details on the white paint color, but this thing looks incredible as well. And the wheel styles, if we look at all three of these, are very similar to the wheel styles on the Mazda Spirit Racing production intended models. This thing looks awesome and look like the red line here, kind of like on the MX-5 Mazda Spirit Racing concept too. Now, Toyota had their own announcements at the Tokyo Auto Salon, and I covered most of them between the LBX, the enhanced GR Yaris as well as a bunch of other stuff like Akio Toyota's collection with the Jimny. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about what Akio Toyota was mentioning at the Tokyo Auto Salon. And there's a nice write-up here from Hans Greinmal at Automotive News, and it really dives into Akio wanting to port as much as he possibly can into internal combustion engines, despite the rest of the world going EV as fast as possible. Akio says there's still a role for engineers as a practical means of achieving carbon neutrality, so let's refine that technology. He's saying new takes on old technology will help win the war against carbon emissions while also saving jobs and preserving the smell, sound, and feel that dyed-in-the-wool car fans crave. He is a car enthusiast through and through. I don't think he gets excited over electric vehicles. There's just so little character and feedback. Yes, they're fast, but they're all heavy. And as a sports car driver, he likes and appreciates the lightweight of vehicles, and that's why he was really excited to debut the LBX Morizo RR concept. And he just talks about how it's so fun to drive light and powerful vehicles. Akio says battery electric vehicles do not represent the only way to achieve carbon neutrality. Should we not have all enthusiasm for cars as we take on the challenge? He's starting a new project to promote engine development anew, and that initiative was given the green light from new CEO Koji Sato and other executives. And he says, you may think engines in this day and age, it might sound like we're running against the times, but that is not true. Akio says this is a necessary step toward the future. Toyota says there are over 5 million people that depend on the internal combustion industry in Japan for their livelihood. These people support Japan, he says, and have the skills to make the Japan of tomorrow strong. We must never lose these people. To all those who have made engines up until now, let us continue to make engines. I will never let all the work you have all done so far go to waste. Mazda Spirit Racing, cannot wait for it. I love that internal combustion engines are still singing high out of Japan between Akio praising them and is committed to not only the auto industry in Japan relying on that economy to stay afloat and to avoid social upheaval, but he wants enthusiasts to have something going forward, whether even if it's burning hydrogen or if it's burning carbon neutral fuels. He wants to be a part of that future and make sure that the engine lives into the future and just gets better over time. And with Mazda bringing back some zoom with Spirit Racing, I cannot wait to see what comes down the hatch. It's going to be a true competitor to, let's say, the SI branding, I think, from Honda. I'll see you in the comments below. A quick update today. Baby Kirk was born, and I can't wait to have him on the channel. as he learns and grows into the love of cars and anything that moves. So thank you guys. I'll check you in the next one. Have a great day and peace.